The call that shattered everything. It was a Wednesday morning when my phone rang. Too early for good news. I was still in my work clothes from the night before, passed out on the couch after another late shift. The caller ID just said, "Claire, my wife." We hadn't spoken in 3 days, not since that cold argument about how we're just not on the same path anymore. I had thought, hoped, that silence meant cooling off. I answered, half asleep. Her voice was composed, too composed. "I've decided. I want a divorce. My breath caught. I don't want to drag this out. I've hired a lawyer. All communication goes through them from now on." Then she hung up, no explanation, no chance to talk, just done. After 7 years, after everything we built, after supporting her through med school, moving cities twice, and putting off my own career to help hers thrive. I sat in stunned silence. Then I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was insane. But what she didn't know, not yet, was that for the past 3 weeks, I'd been preparing for this exact moment. I stared at my phone, then opened the folder marked in case Claire leaves, and I made a call of my own. "Hey, Paul, it's time. I'm ready to play the card." Chapter 2, the folder she didn't know existed. 3 weeks before that cold call, I had already started collecting documents. Not because I knew Claire would leave, but because something in her eyes told me she already had. Late nights at work turned into late nights alone. Phone turned down, screen always hidden, whispers in the hallway when she thought I was asleep. She thought she was being clever. She wasn't. What she didn't know was that I had quietly hired my own lawyer first, Paul Wexler, a quiet but lethal man with a steel memory and a Rolodex full of judges who owed him favors. "She's planning something," I had told him, handing over the first few clues, bank account irregularities, a sudden title transfer to her brother's name for a car I bought, a new LLC she registered under her maiden name. Paul looked over the documents and gave a calm nod. Good instincts. Get me everything, don't confront her, just prepare. So I did. I copied shared financial statements, downloaded WhatsApp chats from our home iPad she forgot to log out from, even saved security footage from our home doorbell cam, showing a man she claimed was a client from her hospital's volunteer program entering our house while I was at work. Claire thought she was orchestrating a silent exit like a ghost slipping through a wall, but I had turned on the lights. The lawyer meeting, when Claire said, "You can only speak to my lawyer," I didn't argue. I dressed sharp. Navy blazer, clean shave, calm smile. At the downtown law firm, the receptionist barely looked up until I said, "I'm here to see Marlene Ritter. I'm Claw's husband." The change was instant. The receptionist glanced down at her screen, then back at me, and swallowed. A few minutes later, the door opened and Marlene herself, a woman with all the arrogance of someone who wins cases by draining people dry, stepped in. She extended her hand. "Mr. Thompson, I didn't expect to see you in person. Neither did Claire, I imagine." I slid the manila folder across the table. Marlene opened it and pulled inside Claire's secret bank transfers to a private account. The deed to a property she had tried to claim was hers alone, but bought during our marriage, the timeline of her affair backed up with GPS data and photos, and a notarized letter from Paul Wexler informing them of our pending counterpetition for full financial disclosure and marital misconduct. Marlene looked at me like she'd just seen a ghost. She told me you didn't know. I stood calm and steady. "Oh, I know everything, and now so do you." As I left the office, my phone buzzed with a text from Paul. "Let's begin phase 2. Time to freeze the joint accounts." I smiled. Claire wanted war. She just never expected I'd bring a bigger army. Chapter 3, the lawyer's confession. The air inside the law office turned heavy the moment I confirmed my identity. The lawyer, mid-40s, slicked back hair, thousand suit, had been reviewing some papers with clinical detachment, but when I calmly said, "Yes, I'm her husband," his fingers froze mid-turn. His eyes slowly lifted to mine, and I saw it. The unmistakable flicker of panic. He set the folder down, adjusted his tie, and cleared his throat. "Mr. Donovan," he said, voice unsteady, "I wasn't expecting you to come in person." I smiled, but it didn't reach my eyes. "Your client told me I wasn't allowed to speak to her anymore. Only you. So I came to speak." He gave a stiff nod. "Well, yes, there are terms in the agreement she'd like you to sign." He slid a manila envelope across the table. I didn't touch it, instead. I opened my briefcase and gently placed a different envelope in front of him, much thicker, with a red tab that read, "Confidential." "This is for you," I said. He raised an eyebrow, but didn't move. "What is it?" he asked. "Proof," I said simply. "Proof that I know everything." His hands hesitated, then slowly reached for the folder. He flipped it open and scanned the top page, and then his face drained of color. His mouth opened slightly, but no sound came out. A tremor passed through his fingers as he continued flipping the pages. Bank transfers, email exchanges, even a photo of him and my wife entering a hotel room. Yes, my wife wasn't just cheating on me. She was cheating with her own lawyer. "I didn't," he started, then stopped, staring at me like a man who had just realized he'd walked into a bear trap. "You didn't think I'd find out?" I asked, voice low, calm. He swallowed hard. "I swear it wasn't supposed to." I leaned in slightly. "Save it. I'm not here to argue morality. I'm here to deliver consequences." That's when I dropped the second bombshell. "I've already filed a formal complaint with the Bar Association. I included the surveillance footage, texts, and proof of your dual conflict of interest." The man went pale, and I added, "I've submitted this to your firm's senior partners. One of them already called me." He stood up so fast his chair rolled back and slammed into the wall. "I didn't know she was." "You knew she was my wife," I cut in. "And you represented her in a divorce against me. That's 2 breaches of ethics. You're done." I stood, buttoned my jacket, and walked to the door. "Oh, and one more thing," I said over my shoulder. "You were the one who drafted the prenup. That makes it void now." And with that, I left him standing there, broken, trembling, and now completely powerless to stop what was coming next. Chapter 4, Her Smile Vanishes. I didn't rush. After leaving her lawyer in full damage control mode, I stopped for coffee. I enjoyed it slowly, savoring the calm before the storm. By the time I returned home, I had an email from the Bar Association confirming receipt of my complaint. The message was brief but chilling. Investigation pending, interim suspension may be imposed. And then, right on cue, my phone buzzed. It was her. After days of icy silence, after sending her attack dog to do the dirty work, she finally called. I didn't answer. 3 missed calls, then a text. "What did you do?" She had spoken to her lawyer. Another message popped in. "We need to talk. Please just meet me." I waited 5 full minutes, then replied, "I'll meet you. Your lawyer can't come." The meeting, she chose a neutral spot, a park we used to visit back when we were happy, before ambition poisoned love. She looked polished, confident, until she saw me. I was calm, collected. She, on the other hand, had the jittery energy of someone whose empire was crumbling. "You've made a huge mistake," she started. "No," I said. "You did? You thought you could manipulate me through a man who was sleeping with you?" She blinked. I continued. "And you didn't read the prenup carefully enough to know it had a morality clause." "What clause?" she asked, voice shaking. I pulled a copy from my jacket. "Infidelity, emotional or physical, voids your claims on any joint assets. You forfeited everything the moment you stepped into that hotel. That's not fair." I cut her off. "What's not fair is you trying to ruin me with a man who was ethically obligated to avoid you." She slumped onto the bench. "But the apartment, the lake house, all mine, already retitled under my trust, and the money frozen pending legal investigation. Your lawyer's firm didn't want to be complicit. They're cooperating." Her face fell, and then the tears came. For the first time, I didn't feel pain watching her cry, only closure. The final blow. She looked up, desperate. "Can we undo this? I made a mistake. I was scared. I stood. You weren't scared. You were greedy." Then I leaned closer. "Your lawyer didn't just lose his license today. You lost me. For good." As I walked away, she called out one last time, "Please don't leave me with nothing." I paused just for a second and smiled. "You're not left with nothing," I said softly. "You still have your integrity." "Oh, wait, never mind." Was this revenge perfectly justified, or should the storm have raged harder? Drop your verdict below. I read every single one. Hit like if you crave justice, and share this story with someone who needs its fire. Subscribe to Walter's Story, because here betrayals don't sleep. They hunt their owners. Every shadow hides a reckoning. Every mask breaks and every betrayal is answered. Stay sharp, stay unbroken, stay tuned.